In the right corner, we have Elon Musk, the technological visionary who is the undefeated consecutive world title holder of over-promising and under-delivering futuristic, hyped-up, fantastical 3D-looking projects, bringing false hope to millions of the scientific illiterate. And in the left corner, we have Mark Zuckerberg, the undisputed champion of ruining relationships, as millions of breakups, misunderstandings, and divorces result directly from the usage of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, whom many suspect is an android wearing human skin. Both of them have the ability to control the destiny of mankind. But which one of these insanely mega-rich billionaires is actually worse for humanity overall? Elon Musk grew up in a wealthy family in apartheid South Africa before turning the considerable wealth at his family's disposal into one of the most inflated net worths that any person has ever seen. Musk, who is valued up to $300 billion, is now most recognized for his technological gimmicks such as the Hyperloop, SpaceX, Tesla, and the Boring Company. Whilst it's undeniable that there indeed are tiny amounts of Tesla cars on roads in wealthy countries, basically 90% of ideas and soon-to-be scenarios that he has showcased never actually happened. This is a visual representation of Musk's promises in order to get your money. It's as if he literally uses Instagram filters to airbrush the best version of an idea to sell you. That is what is delivered, if anything is actually delivered at all. As you can see, the produced product clearly is not what was originally advertised, and you're left with a churning feeling in your stomach that you want your money back. In many ways, what Mark Zuckerberg has brought to the world is the complete opposite. No one doubts his grand designs. It started off initially as music software that Microsoft tried to buy from him when he was a kid. Then came his infamous Facebook, and now the metaverse. Rather than people believing in things that never come to fruition, no one ever predicted the still under-discussed impact of Facebook and Instagram and the numerous arms that spawned from it. Currently, there are 3 billion active Facebook and Instagram users worldwide. I submit that Zuckerberg and his applications have literally destroyed hundreds of millions of relationships since their inception. I don't have any peer-proven studies to back this claim up, but I can absolutely guarantee you Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp have caused the extinction of way more relationships on planet Earth than anything else out there. Just think of the thousands of daily, pointless arguments and misunderstandings caused by the constant influx of notifications, requests, and updates from these apps. And if that's not bad enough, well, then there's this. This is the exact kind of fake, performative lives his applications algorithmically reward to make its users feel inadequate compared to others. Both Musk and Zuckerberg present facades to the world. Musk's is a colorful hologram that tries its best to veil the fact that there's not really much there, with fancy-looking 3D renderings of futuristic projects, whilst Zuckerberg understates the evil effects of his platforms because he doesn't want you to know the harm and danger it has on society. It's at this point I have to ask you to watch his dog. As your eyes follow him across the screen, make sure that you too give me a follow by liking and subscribing, then hitting that bell notification. Now, one thing Zuckerberg and Musk do share is their odd relationship with fake philanthropy. Both have consistently used disastrous situations of other people as strange opportunities in an attempt to pursue PR campaigns. Perhaps the most memorable of such cases for Musk was when he waded into the public conversation around a group of Thai schoolboys who were trapped in a cave in 2018. In the end, a small international team of brave rescue workers risked their lives, and one unfortunately did die, in order to save the kids. Within just days of the ordeal happening, Musk had already managed to make it all about him instead. He boasted that he would soon have a magical special submarine ready to come in and save the day. Whilst this got some Musk believers talking, more predictably for scientific literate, they knew that this was complete BS. Upset that he didn't get the limelight for the 2 weeks the boys were trapped, he eventually let his tantrum loose when he called one of the brave rescue workers a pedo guy. Till this date, Elon's special rescue submarine is as real as the flying dog from the never-ending story. It literally doesn't exist. Zuckerberg's most notorious philanthropy incident is equally odd. As part of his tactic to draw attention to his latest VR technology, he provided a donation of $1.5 million to Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria hit. Then, Zuckerberg did a live stream and took viewers on one of the strangest journeys modern tech has brought us. Here's what it looked like.
I mean, this is one of the things that's really magical about virtual reality is you can get the feeling that you're really in a place.
Yeah, it's so magical to watch poor people die and drown in front of you on 4K high definition when you're sitting in the comfort of your Silicon Valley, air-conditioned, multi-millionaire dollar office seats worth 6 months' salary of the average Puerto Rican, isn't it, Zuckerberg? One particularly memorable moment came when, I kid you not, Mark's avatar did a high five with the other 3D avatar while laughing on screen. in front of a backdrop of homes ruined by flooding.
It feels like we're in the same place and we're making eye contact, we're talking to each other.
High five.
Yeah, there you go, high five.
In case Zuckerberg wasn't already doing a good enough job of being completely tone deaf while subtly mocking thousands of devastated lives, the two avatars then decided, hey, why don't we pop onto the moon for some fun?
So do you want to go teleport somewhere else?
Yeah, maybe back to California.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. VR is pretty amazing.
I mean, seriously, Mark, at this point, you might as well just come out and say, look at those poor people. Here, take my $1.5 million that I scrape off my shoe as a pittance for being so pathetic. The problem with these performative attempts to grab attention is more than just being morally reprehensible. They also result in other significant indirect negative effects. In the modern age, sustainable and ethical investing is all the rage. The more investors are duped by the faux altruism, the more money they invest, the more Zuckerberg and Musk will be motivated to continue their charade. And what's worse, it also has the effect of placating people who may otherwise be working on actual solutions to pressing problems. The myth that these insanely powerful people and self-painted geniuses are busy at work providing helpful solutions means in the long run that real answers are less likely to be formulated. If they were quietly pretending to help without Twitter proclamations of Musk or the live streams of Zuckerberg, things may not be quite as bad as when they dissuade others from getting involved. I mean, their harmful PR stunts just remind you of TikTok nurses dancing in a hospital ward, pretending to save lives, but in reality, they're just trying to get internet points, whilst the patients are literally dying on deathbeds, like this. The area that these two billionaire heavyweights specialize in, however, is the deception around their technologies. Starting with Musk, it has reached the point over the last few years where, through Tesla and his other companies, he has probably generated the biggest bubble ever recorded in human existence by an individual. Some estimates put the South African's net value at a staggering $300 billion. The largest chunk of this is taken up by his 16% stake in Tesla, worth $134 billion. This alone is an unprecedented bubble that has been building and that we are continuing to watch expand in 2022 as it has been for years. Tesla has somehow managed to catapult its value up to more than all the top 10 car manufacturers combined. You'd expect a business with such a title to have plenty of cars on the road, but yet it makes less than 1% of the cars in the world. 1%! Mind-boggling. Seriously.
What? What the fuck?
Whilst it's impossible to tell currently how deliberate every step is, Musk has consistently given great presentations on soon-to-come products that turn out to be as real as the ability for me to poop out golden eggs from my rear end. Perhaps the most ridiculous of all supposed inventions was the excitingly named Hyperloop. When this was announced in 2015, Musk fans were over the moon that their technological lord and savior was about to deliver a new mode of transportation that would make Jesus walking on water unambitious. Supposedly, this vacuum tunnel would be only 1/10 the cost of high-speed rail, travel up to 3 times faster, and even generate more energy than it consumes. All for just $20 a ride. But those not under Musk's spell knew there and then that the idea of such nonsense connecting different corners of the United States had no substance to it. Several years later, all mentions of this utopian technology were silently removed from their original online websites. Musk even managed to get people talking about how this was going to be used on Mars when he couldn't even get it working on Earth. Then there's SpaceX. Some people optimistically think Elon will be the leader to make commercial space travel possible anytime soon. Yet, for those watching closely, he's admitted that SpaceX is close to bankruptcy and is already moving into other projects. The only feasible way for an individual to keep such a financial burden of a pipe dream alive is to keep inflating money from elsewhere. And that's what he's done, expertly. Robotaxi is another venture that Musk paints as a game changer to keep investors interested. But in reality, it lags far behind the groundbreaking work in self-driving cars done by Google's Waymo. Other Musk ideas such as spandex-clad dancing robots, cyber trucks, Giga Texas all sounds like great names if they're running out of ideas for Star Wars movies, but are doing very little to push forward the world of technology. The amount of hype and investment they're managing to generate is certainly impressive at the moment, but there's only so long the act can last. What will happen when the bubble inevitably pops? The ever-growing number of average investors will take a hit, and some might never recover. Worse still, trust in a future for humanity that can beat the threat of climate change might be damaged irreparably. Not only will individual ecotech enthusiasts have their dreams hurt, but investment in the field will also likely reduce, making the chances of finding actual solutions even lower. At the end of the day, Musk is scamming people out of money and society out of solutions. Zuckerberg's style is very different from Elon's. He doesn't have anything like the same level of flashiness and almost admits to being an android pretending to be a person wearing a human skin here.
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human, still. But I was just referring to myself in the past. Not that I was not human.
Facebook and Instagram's addictive nature have become razor sharp, and many people's days are hours shorter now with the time vacuums that are installed on their phones. Not to mention the hundreds of millions of breakups, divorces, and ruined relationships which were a direct result of Zuckerberg's apps. In the past, if one person in a relationship wasn't able to instantly respond, that didn't mean they're angry or rude, but perhaps just busy, tired, or, asleep. Now, thanks to Zuckerberg's applications, your phone now tries to imply in any way it can that you're actively doing something nefarious or ignoring the other person. It started innocently enough with read updates, but users now even get notifications when regular contacts go online or offline with recently online statuses. Or how about prior to social media? Previously, a social gathering may make you protective about your partner, and maybe you'd put your arm around them if someone was getting too close. And in the worst case scenario, if you weren't feeling comfortable, you could just leave. Now that's not even an option anymore. If you ask your partner or significant other to stop using social media to protect the relationship, now you are perceived to be insecure or possessive. But think about what is the literal purpose of these sites existing. It is for the sole purpose of the person who has a profile to get attention. Through a constant barrage of likes, reactions, and replies from other people who are not the significant other. Then came the advent of the online influencer, who are almost all completely 100% fake personalities where random strangers online showcase totally fabricated versions of their lives and edit it into literal highlight reels for the sole purpose of attention whoring.
I wonder what this does.
Equally worrying is the effect the platforms are having on political processes and discourse. Let's not forget about the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where private companies, through the use of Facebook, were able to systematically gather, obtain, and then sell private data of its users. Many argue Facebook literally changed the outcomes of political elections. The fact that so many people are addicted, give up so much data on themselves, and can consequently be influenced and marketed to, is what makes Zuckerberg one of the richest and arguably most powerful on the planet. Whereas Musk is giving false hope with ideas that aren't really there, Zuckerberg lulls people into a deceptive, zombie-like trance where they give up hours of their time, the deepest parts of their privacy, and much of their political autonomy. Musk's scam is likely to be discovered sooner, although the measurable financial impact of it is likely to be larger. However, there is no avoiding the undeniable, permanent societal damage that Zuckerberg continues to bring to millions daily in the background with each update and notification that buzzes into the world. So, which one do you think is worse for humanity? Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg? You decide, and leave a comment below.